This is the 8th grade SBAC review homework for Tuesday, EMC 7. For number 1, you need to use the figure to the right to find the measures of the numbered angles. So we have two parallel lines with a transversal. And the first thing I do is I call them beach balls. I draw the beach balls and color them in blue, green, and then the second one, the same, blue, green. And the reason why I do that is because when you have these colors, the matching colors will be congruent angles. So for the measure of angle 1, you need to find it. Here's angle 1. Well, this angle is given. The measure is 75 degrees. So this all green angles are going to be 75 degrees. Well, this one's green because this is called vertical angles. And vertical angles are congruent. And these two are vertical angles. They're congruent. Corresponding angles, or I call them corresponding angles. Alternate exterior, outside the parallel lines. Alternate interior, inside the parallel lines. Those are all congruent angles. Measure of angle 2. Well, if this angle is 75 degrees, what's the measure of this? Well, a green and a blue, these are going to be supplementary angles, and supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 75 will equal 105. And you can check it because the sum of these two angles should add up to 180. 105 plus 75 add up to 180. And any two blue and green angles will add up to 180 degrees. Measure of angle 3. Well, we already know this is 105. Vertical angles are congruent, 105. This one's blue, this one's blue. All blue angles are to be 105 degrees. Measure of angle 4. Well, we already know from this one, all green angles are going to be 75 degrees. Alternate interior angles are congruent. Measure of angle 5. It's blue. Corresponding angles are congruent, 105. Measure of angle 6 is 75. And measure of angle 7, 105. It's a blue angle. When you're finished, it's a good idea to take the sum of these three angles because the sum of these create a circle, and the measure of the angle of a circle is 360 degrees. So if you add 105 plus 75 plus 105 plus 75, you get 360 degrees. For number 2, tell whether the triangles are similar and explain. So remember that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle add up to 180. So 30 plus 122 plus y equals 180. Combine like terms. 30 plus 122 is 152. We want to get y by itself. Subtract 152 from each side. 180 minus 152 equals 28. So y equals 28. And if you add all three of these together, it equals 180 degrees. Well, now you see you have 122 degrees and 28 degrees. This is 122 degrees and 28 degrees. So yes, the two triangles are similar because they have two congruent angles to each other. So if two of the angles are congruent, they're equal to each other, so 1 and 2, the third angle has to be the same. So x would equal 30. So they are similar. For number 3, the solids are similar. Find the missing dimensions. So if they're similar, I can set them up as a proportional relationship where I have the big figure to the small figure. So big to small. And I set them up as a ratio for the corresponding sides. So big, 7.5, to small, 5. And then I want to find the missing value here. So big, here's the base here, this leg, B, which is big, to its corresponding side, small, is 12. Now I can cross multiply. So 5 multiplied by B is 5B. 7.5 multiplied by 12 is 90. Divide both sides by 5, created the big 1. And 90 divided by 5 is going to equal 18. So B equals 18. Now I'm going to do the same thing to find H and C. So to find C, I'm going to again use the two given sides, big to small. So 7.5 over 5, big to small. And then for C, I have the length of this side, which is unknown, but it's on the big. So C is big to its corresponding side, 13. Again, I'm going to cross multiply. 5 multiplied by C is 5C. 7.5 multiplied by 13 is 97.5. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 5. I created a big 1, left with C. 97.5 divided by 5 is 19.5 meters. Now for the last one, for H, I don't have H, but it's on the big. So I'm going to again use the two given, 7.5 big, 5 meters small. H is on the big, corresponding side is 6 on the small. Cross multiply. 5 multiplied by H is 5H. 7.5 multiplied by 6 is 45. Divide both sides by 5, created the big 1, 45 divided by 9, so H equals 9, so 9 meters. For number 4, I need to find the value of x. So I have two values here, and I need to find the value of x. These are unknowns. I know that this is a right angle, and the right angle is 90 degrees, and the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. So I have this angle, so 90 degrees, plus x plus 28, and the third angle, x, will equal 180 degrees. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I have x, and then I have 90 plus 28. X plus x is 2x, 90 plus 28 is 118. Now I'm going to subtract 118 from both sides. Inverse property of addition and subtraction. Created a zero pair. 180 divided minus 118 is 62. Inverse property multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 2. Created the big 1. 62 divided by 2 is 31. So x equals 31 degrees. So when you're finished, if x equals 31, plug it back in here, and you should get 31 plus 28 plus 31 plus 90 equals 180 degrees. If you don't get 180 degrees, then you made a mistake, and you're going to have to go back and see where that you made that mistake. Because remember, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. For number 5, find the measure of the exterior angle. So this is the exterior, outside. This is the interior. And we're going to use the exterior angle method. And remember, the exterior angle method for number 5, we're going to find the measure of the exterior angle. And so here's the exterior angle. And we're going to use the exterior angle theorem, which states that the sum of the two remote interior angles equals the exterior angle. So this is the remote, the two angles that are furthest away from the exterior angle. So the sum of these two angles, so we have 36 plus 72 will equal x, the exterior angle. So 36 plus 72 is 108. So x equals 108 degrees.